10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Hello everyone, welcome to the session of Mechanical Design organized by CAD International and myself Nijesh Nandan from Mechanical Department, CAD International UAE Division. So in the present scenario around the world, we have taken a positive step by our YouTube channel so that learning is accessible to each and every one of you sitting anywhere around the globe. So the today's session will be dealing with the relevance of softwares in mechanical design industry. So we will be having a curiosity when we see anything around us which is so huge and which is so curious. So each and everything that we see around us is manufactured with lot of complicated steps. So in that process, there is a vital role played by a mechanical engineer. So today's session, we will be dealing with the design processes that are carried out for the manufacturing of any kind of product that we have or that we see around the world. So design is so much important because it is a fire or it is a light that shows the path for the entire creation of any kind of product. So let us take any invention or any product that is created newly. So for the creation of any product, we should have a solid design for it. So again, the question, why design? So only if the design is perfect, we can create a perfect model. All the processes that have to be done in order to create the entire product will be given in the design process. So actually, what is design? With design, we are converting our concepts or our ideas into realities. That is the most important thing that we have to understand. The concept or the ideas that we have, if we have to convert it into reality, we have to depend on a solid design. The design will vary according to the necessities, according to the market demand, according to the customers. So, according to huge demand and according to huge variations in the necessities, the design must be accordingly modified. So, that is the most difficult task or most challenging part of design, to meet the necessity of the user or to meet the necessity of the customer. So ultimately, the design is done in order to manufacture something, in order to create something that can be used or that is beneficial for the humankind. So ultimate aim of the design process will be to manufacture something. So let us take an example for the revolutionary machine that I have listed here. The first vehicle that we had, then the aeroplane, the cameras. So the new inventions were done in the olden days with lot of complications. So then at that time they were using primitive designs just with the rulers and the scale, pencil, drafters. So design process at those times took longer time. It took more manpower, it took more time, it took more resources too. So in this case we can discuss what is the need of a software in design. So considering the primitive design processes, we have numerous disadvantages. So I have listed some of them. Obviously, the time consuming. It is very time consuming, and inability to meet the requirements. According to the changing needs, the difficulty was there to correct the models, to change the designs, to alter the design so that it can meet the requirements of the user. And the reuse of the document that we have made or the design that we have made. Once the design is made, if we want to edit it or if we want to change the design, in those days it was difficult task to do. We had to create a new design for that, entirely new document for that. And as we have already noticed that all the primitive designs were made by humans, so there obviously there will be chances for human errors, and the design that we have created will be not accurate. So these are the challenges we were facing when we were using the hand drafting in the olden days. So considering all these things, we will we have created numerous softwares so that the designing process can be made more efficient. So when we move on to designing process, we have to know three terms that we have listed: CAD, CAM, and CA. CAD, CAM, and CA. So considering CAD, CAM, and CA. So today we are discussing designing. So when the designing is discussed, so the intervention of computers, that is something very prominent now. So with the help of computers, we can design. So we have three terms there: CAD, CAM, and CA. Obviously, CAD is computer aided design. So we are designing something with help of a computer. And CAM, it is computer aided manufacturing. And CAE, it is computer aided engineering. So with CAD softwares or with the concept as CAD, we can create 3D models so that the visualization of the final product is there. So we can view the ultimate product that is to be manufactured previously itself. We can see the product from each and every direction, and we can make sure that the product is designed according to our requirement. So that is a benefit of using computers in designing. So CAD is 3D modeling basically. So 3D modeling and drafting also comes in CAD, that is computer aided design. So if you want to manufacture something, we told that we need a solid design for that. So with help of CAD software, we'll be creating many models there. so that it can be manufactured. So before manufacturing, so there are certain processes that are carried out. So in order to manufacture something, we need a design. But before manufacturing something, we have to make sure that our design is feasible or our design is safe. Or we can say that it meets the actual working condition. So before manufacturing, we have to analyze the product. So for analyzing, we have the concept of CAE, that is the computer aided engineering. So after designing something with help of any CAD softwares, we will be discussing about the CAD softwares too. So with help of any of the CAD softwares, we will be modeling a product. With that model itself, we can take it into a CAE software. We can take ANSYS as an example. So in a CAE concept, the product that we have designed is tested. So it is basically the analysis of the product. So the analysis is done with help of a computer. So we are analyzing a product. So the step is forecasting the behavior of a product. So with the boundary conditions, or we can say that with the actual working conditions, we can apply the actual working conditions that can be the forces acting on the body and the linkages of the body. So we can attach any boundary conditions to our model, and we can test our model whether it is safe or whether it is uh, apt for using. So that process is carried out in CAE using CAE softwares. So that is the concept of CAE, that is computer aided engineering. Next, we have the main and the important thing, that is CAM, that is CAM, computer aided manufacturing. Ultimately, all the process that we are doing, that is the the CAD, CAE, all these processes, all these numerous processes are done in order to manufacture or create any component. So once the product is modeled and it is analyzed and it is made sure that the product is according to the working condition, we can go for the manufacturing of the product. So manufacturing here with the term CAM is related with computer aided manufacturing. So it is basically the material removal process that is considered here. That is the drilling, the milling, and usually we can see that CNC machines are used for manufacturing. So the working of CNCs, it is according to the G codes and N codes. So the CAM softwares, the purpose of CAM softwares is to generate the codes according to the modeled product from the CAD software. So it stands as a mediator between the user and the CNC machines. The inputs from the user are converted as codes and given as instructions to the CNC, and according to these instructions, the CNC will manufacture the component that we have modeled. So these are the three concepts that we have in design, that is the CAM, CAE, and CAD. So here in this session, we will be listing out what are the CAD software that are predominant in the mechanical design industry. So here, a major step is to optimize the component. Optimizing the component and making the optimized product is something very crucial. Optimizing a component means the component should not be having any over material. So these kind of things are considered when we are optimizing a material. So as we discussed about analysis, so in analysis, if we found out something is missing in a product or a product fails if certain amount of force is applied. So if the product is a failure in our analysis, accordingly the remedial steps are taken. So if we can consider a table, okay, suppose we have a force on it and if it is having a bending. So accordingly, there are numerous remedies that we can give. So the material can be changed, and we can think of changing the thickness of each sides. So numerous suggestions or numerous remedies we can give, or we can make, and we can remodel so that our product is feasible, or our product is ready to be manufactured. So it is in this process that the designers have the maximum challenge to optimize a product. So as we are considering the CAD softwares in this session, so we can list any number of softwares. There are many softwares in the industry available now, and we will be discussing only about the most predominant softwares that we have in the industry right now. So when we are coming to 3D modeling, so as we have discussed what are the disadvantages of the primitive processes, here we can overcome all the negative aspects of the primitive steps. So this is why softwares are so necessary in the design concept. So the main factor can be taken the huge demand that we have, and the quick process in which the products are manufactured, and the quick design changes that we have. So according to these criterias, we need a better and an efficient 3D modeling software, or the CAD softwares. So here I have listed some advantages of the 3D modeling. So 3D modeling, obviously it is the main and the ultimate purpose is the visualization of the product. So the product, instead of making a prototype, it can be viewed from 360 angle how the product would look like after the manufacturing. And then we have discussed about the remodeling. If there is a correction, or if you want to make any changes, it is easy to alter the model using a 3D modeling software. Next, we can see that in a design hierarchy in a firm, throughout the manufacturing line, it is very necessary to communicate the ideas properly. So if we have a 3D model or CAD related softwares with us, it is very easy to communicate throughout the designing orders, so that the lag of the manufacturing can be stopped. Then these models can be used for marketing and project approvals, also for presenting our model, for convincing how better our product is. And of course, it is work efficient and time saving. The product modeling is a faster process compared to the primitive steps that we have. And if we are using the 3D modeling softwares, of course, we can have the manufacturing faster process, and the productivity will be high. So these are the advantages of 3D modeling softwares to be used in the industries. So next, I have listed here some of the modeling softwares that we have in our industry right now. So CATIA and Dassault and SolidWorks. Those are the softwares from Dassault system. We have Creo, PTC, and Siemens NX is the PLM software. We have two Autodesk. I have listed two Autodesk products also, Fusion 360 and Inventor. So these are some among numerous softwares that we have. So these are the most predominant softwares that we have in the industry. So among this, the software SolidWorks is one of the most user-friendly software that we have. As CATIA and SolidWorks comes from the same developer, but SolidWorks is the most user-friendly software that we have. See, the selection of the software by the companies depends on the product that they manufacture, or the complexity of the product. So it depends according to that they will be selecting the software that they need for 3D modeling. So the 3D modeling software, any software that you take, all the software will have some basic features. So some among them are the parametric modeling. The modeling according to the parameters, the dimensions, the relations. So The remodeling is very easy if the parameters are associated with it. So if we want to make the changes in some dimensions, just we have to edit those dimensions. So all the adjacent features are adjusted accordingly. And direct and freeform modeling. In most of the software now, there are direct modeling and freeform modeling. So that complex and difficult shape can be modeled very easily just by pulling and pushing the face. And one of the most and the important thing is assembly design. See, any part that we take, anything that we see around us, it will be assembly. It consists of different individual parts. So we have to check how the each and individual parts is attached and made as a complete assembly. So if we are making the assembly design with a 3D modeling software, we have the benefit of checking the mismatches. If, for example, we can take two plates, if they are bind together by nuts and bolts, so we can check where there are mismatches. So we can check whether initially all the size of the holes are proper, are the holes of two plates are aligned at a same axis. All these things can be checked before manufacturing. So just imagine a case when everything is manufactured or the first batch is manufactured, and then in the inspection we are realizing about the mismatches. So all the product will be a waste and waste of time, money, energy. So these kind of things can be avoided with help of assembly design. And the working of a part can be perfectly done with help of assembly design. We can give the constraints accordingly and we can see how the assembly works. Then the reverse engineering concept. So whatever the model that is already created can be modified using any of the modeling softwares. Among the modeling softwares, best for the re-engineering concept is NX, the Siemens NX PLM software, which has synchronous modeling for reverse engineering, for modifying the already created part. So these are the features that are there for a modeling software or a 3D modeling software. So that is a concept of softwares in design industry, the mechanical design industry. So these softwares, these are the fields of application. So whatever we see around us can be designed using any of the mechanical modeling softwares. So these are the fields of application, starting from aerospace design to medical equipments and consumer products. Let it be refrigerators or ceramics. Anything that we see around can be modeled using any of the modeling softwares. So among this, for aerospace and automotive, the predominant software is CATIA. And for medical equipments, tool and die, we have SolidWorks. NX is also relevant for for the tool design and for automotive design too. For consumer products, the main software is SolidWorks. So these are the fields of application for the modeling softwares that we have discussed. So this was the idea about the modeling softwares that we have in the mechanical design industry. Hope the session was informative for you. Hope the session was informative and I hope you have acquired some knowledge from the session. So thank you for joining us. Have a great day.